Mic check 1 2. It's the Y2K collector, and February is finished, so I figured I'd show you some of the highlights from this month in terms of what I picked up, and just kind of share some of that with you. It's a combination of GameStop pickups and online pickups, and we'll start off with the hardware. So just starting off, we have these PlayStation 3. I feel like these are the motion sense controllers for the PlayStation 3. I know they work with certain games. I believe The Amazing Spider-Man is one of them. I've always wanted to try these out, so I went ahead and picked them up. I'm definitely excited to kind of give them a run and see what they're about. Next, I got a extra controller. This is the SNES Classic controller. I actually had a spare SNES Mini or SNES Classic that didn't have a controller to go with it. So now I actually can complete that. I still have my original that I got brand new. That one is still in the box. So this is a great way to still be able to play that Mini. Amongst all the controllers that I got, because I did get a number of controllers, I was definitely stoked to get this original N64 controller. This was a GameStop pickup. The joystick is not the best, but it's not the worst. So it is usable, and this was a nice pickup. And then last but not least, probably the best hardware pickup of the month of February, and that would be this DSi XL. A very cool handheld here. The screen is like super big. I mean, this is just very wide, very bright on the screen, and this was in like new condition. I'm seeing these go for like 135 to 150 online, and for whatever reason GameStop is selling these for like, you know, 70 bucks, 74 bucks. So this was a pretty cool pickup. Was glad to add that one to the collection, especially in terms of the condition. Now let's get to some of the games. We're going to start off with the Wii. So finally got my hands on a complete copy of Mario Party 9 in good condition. I'd been stalking this game for quite some time. For some reason, it was just always really expensive. Like every time I saw this game, especially at GameStop, it would be like $60+. So I actually happened to walk into a GameStop, and I think they had it for like 35 or 39. And I had some credit, so I went ahead and took advantage and added Mario Party 9 to the collection. And then had a couple of Dreamcast games this month. First, starting off, we had Street Fighter Alpha 3 for the Dreamcast. One of the best ways to play this game. I can't tell if the Dreamcast version or the PlayStation 1 version is better. Usually I prefer my fighting games on Dreamcast, but I feel like the sound on the PlayStation 1 might be a little bit better. Could just be me. But this was another great ad, as well as Time Stalkers on the Dreamcast. This was also a solid RPG pickup that was added to the collection. This one has floated in and out of my collection for quite some time. Glad to have it back. Then we had Sword of Mana. This is a very cool action RPG on the Game Boy Advance. This was one that I was just shocked to see. This was a GameStop pickup. Went ahead and snagged it, added it to the collection. Then we had this copy of G.I. Joe Atlantis Factor. This is a very cool run and gun shooter on the NES. I'm a fan of NES run and gun shooters. Whenever I can pick one up, I'll definitely go ahead and add one to the collection. I have a couple pretty cool SNES games coming in, so excited to see those when they get here. Next up, we have Ys Nordics. This was one of the Switch pickups. I've been picking up Switch games so far in the month of February, and Ys Nordics was definitely one of those ones that I wanted to add. A pretty interesting action RPG game. Wanted to add that to the Switch collection. And then also kind of like a side-scrolling, like a platforming shooter. This one's very interesting. Tevi, I still have not opened this one yet. Haven't had a chance to dive in. But this was another one that I added to the collection. Was glad to pick this one up. This is one that I can see like in a couple years being really expensive for some reason. Not sure why. But you don't see this in like GameStop or in like Best Buy and stuff. I kind of have to find this one online. But cool pickup. Then we had a PSP pickup here. So Metal Gear Solid Portable. Very fun playing this on the PSP. The controls aren't the best, but then again, I don't, I don't play a lot of these types of games, so you know it's hard for me to say how much better the PlayStation 2 controls would have been, or the PlayStation 3 for that matter. But graphically, a great game, great story, a cool one to add to the PSP collection. Here we have an interesting one. So this was one that I picked up because I had trade credit that I needed to burn, and they had this Trauma Center Under the Knife 2. I've had part 1 of this game and I traded it away, and then here goes part 2 that falls right into my lap. Not sure why part 2 is worth so much more than part 1. From what I understand, this is like 60 bucks or so, 60 to 75 bucks. Part 1 was only like 25, 30 bucks. So, but this is a cool Atlas game, like a medical type of simulation kind of game. Like, I don't really know too much about this one, but this was one that I did add once I saw it, one that I want to get into. The PlayStation 4 Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom. One of the better ways, I think, to get the game. Obviously, you could get it on the 360 or the PS3, but they did have it there for the PlayStation 4, so I went ahead and snagged it up. This is a game that I had never seen prior to actually picking it up in store, and this is 3D Dot Game Heroes on the PlayStation 3. Very random and obscure type of game. This is also an Atlas game. It was complete, a very interesting one. Have not had a chance to dive into this one yet either, but very cool looking. Was glad to add that one to the collection. And then we'll end it off with a couple Gen 6 games. First up, we have Mario Sunshine. So this was a very clean GameStop pickup. I'm always satisfied when GameStop doesn't just send the disc. I get happy when they send the case, the manual, all that good stuff, and they came through for me on this one. So they did hold me down on this copy of Mario Sunshine. I did play it a little bit, brought back a lot of memories, because I did have Mario Sunshine back in the day on the GameCube, and just so nostalgic playing this one. So glad to add that. And then last but not least, we have Shadow Hearts. So Shadow Hearts from the New World. This one was another GameStop pickup. You know, I ran into this game at GameStop. It was like 27 bucks. I know these Shadow Hearts games can be somewhat pricey, and if it just felt like a good deal at the time, I wanted to take advantage of it, especially seeing as how the game itself was complete, and that manual was pretty good condition. So no complaints on that. And that does it in terms of the pickups. Overall, I mean, February was cool. Like I said, things definitely slowed down in terms of me finding games out in the wild. They've closed down a number of GameStops near me, so there's not as many places that I can go during the week and just try to find games. I pretty much have one local GameStop at this point that I can go to, and everyone is fishing in that watering hole. So these days when I get there, there's really not a whole lot there, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. But just seeing as how I know that the competition is fierce, it's just I'm not as motivated to kind of go out there and do the hunting. I do try to hit up GameStop's online website, and I've had some success there, but I'm slowing down on that one as well once these last pickups come in. So we'll see how that works out. But pretty much from here through the rest of the year, it's pretty much just going to be opportunistic buying. You know, if I see something, it's in good condition, if it's complete, I'll go ahead and pull the trigger. But as far as me setting up days to do game hunting, that is going to slow up just because of recent developments with work, with my company, some corporate opportunities that I'm getting. And I really kind of want to focus some of my attention on that. So we'll still have game pickups. We'll still continue with the Switch pickups. Like I said, I do have a Best Buy gift card that I do need to finish using. So I'll probably make my way to Best Buy this weekend, kind of blend that into some errands and grocery shopping and things like that. But yeah, those are the February highlights. It was a pretty decent month, and looking forward to see what March has. Let me know what you guys think about the pickups. Let me know if you made any notable pickups in February, and I'll catch you in the next video. It's the Y2K Collector. Take it easy.